Good evening. Tonight I want to speak about a grouping which was done on Tuesday, the day after Christmas, 2017, at the farm in the Caledon area. Now, what has actually happened was the water has partially dried up. There is a severe drought in the Western Cape Town, and it is estimated that Cape Town would be running out of water roughly in March of 2018. So severe water restrictions are in place. The wind on the day was very windy, and it was howling to quite an extent, especially over the dam, which is 205 meters in length from each embankment to the other embankment. I was sitting on the one embankment and shooting across the dam, and another further 5 meters on I placed the target, which was a wooden chipboard demarcated into a blackened area and a yellow area. I separated them by means of insulation tape. What happened was the first grouping I tried to post or to record was spread out over a wide area throughout the whole upper part of the chipboard. The chipboard, incidentally, was 4 centimeters in width. And that was a complete and total disaster. I shot the African Air Ordinance 51 grain air rifle Slugs, which is made by Jeremy King in KwaZulu-Natal. I had posted his contact details in an earlier video done about 3 months ago. However, I wanted to do a long-range test with these pellets, considering the fact that they got so much knockdown power, 51 grains in 22 caliber, and this particular rifle, the Samyang Snipe, produces about 96 foot-pounds, firing at its top end, which is about 5 to 6 shots that you get out of that specific area. Now, as I said, the first grouping was a bit of a disaster. The other 3 groupings I tried was in the yellow area below the insulation tape, in the middle of the chipboard. And I seem to have achieved a sub 5 centimeter group. The slugs drilled into the chipboard, but they were arranged in a rough diamond, or shall I say, a diamond-shaped pattern. And the last 2 at the bottom were very close together. So you'll see the first 3 in the shape of a pyramid without the base, and then at the bottom the 2 are actually, in fact, sitting right next to each other. That's where they were shot. Now, I haven't actually had a chance to go and measure the groupings, but according to what I saw, it seemed definitely to be under 5 centimeters. Dare I say, possibly under 4 centimeters. If that were to be the case, I don't think I've come across anybody on YouTube shooting a 5-shot group under 5 centimeters on YouTube yet at 200 meters, let alone 210 meters. For those of you who actually want information on the length of the shoot, if you leave a comment below, I will be glad to send you the GPS coordinates, and you can actually do the measurements for yourself. All you can do is request my email, and I will put it up, and then you can contact me, or I shall then just basically give you the GPS coordinates via email, if that is okay with the audience. Now, the other thing I wanted to comment on was that this is a very hard-hitting pellet. Even at 210 meters, it bored into the chipboard with about 2 millimeters to spare. There was no way I could cheat the shots, because firstly, I was firing over water. Secondly, if I had been any closer, the uniform depth of the slugs which penetrated into the chipboard, if it had been a closer shot, they would have bored deeper into the chipboard, or maybe, let's just say 50 meters, have gone right through. So, as I said, there was no way that I could have cheated. I will be trying the little brother, which is the 42 grain African Air Ordinance slug, in due time, and I'm going to try and extend the range out to about 270 meters and see how they fare. But I think what Jeremy King has got here is a complete winner. It is a slug which is relatively cheap and consistent in weight. I think that they are competition quality. Despite the howling wind, which normally when it comes over the mountain, it tends to pick up speed, and it blows into what you would say would be a sort of miniature valley. And once it hits the water of the dam, it tends to produce an eddy current effect. So you have updrafts, you have downdrafts, you have side drafts, left to right, right to left, and any other angle in between of which you can think. It therefore makes shooting extremely difficult, but I have to say, with the middle grouping, there was a lull in the wind for about 5 to 6 minutes, and I seized my opportunity and I achieved quite an amazing grouping with the Samyang Snipe, firing these slugs, which are 51 grains, at 900 on an average, at about 920 feet per second. I would suggest you put on microphones or earphones. If you want to use YTD downloader, you can download the video, put it on a stick and shove it into your television set or to your HD DVD player, and then you will be able to hear the full sound effects of the pellets hitting the chipboard with the camera which was placed closest to the target. The reason why I actually had to put the camera further back than usual was because these pellets, or shall I say slugs, have the potential to actually smash the camera to smithereens upon impact, including the legs of the tripod. So I didn't want to take the risk, and I just basically put it back a bit further than usual. However, the test turned out to be a success, and as I said before, I don't think I have seen a video of a sub 5 centimeter, let alone 4 centimeter group being placed at 210 meters on YouTube as yet. I had been in discussions with Gregor Kamanchik, who has been testing the Cuban K1 fairly extensively, and he is busy modifying his Daystate Wolverine in 22 caliber at this point in time, and he hopes that it should push out over and about in the 90 foot-pound region. So I assume that the Daystate still has the single shot tray, and that you will try and simulate such a test. Obviously he will have to try out the African Air Ordinance for himself. The other person I can think of who actually had done a group closest to that range was Tofasfo. And then obviously there is Mr. Hollowpoint, who has got a Quackenbush 22 caliber as well, pushing at roughly similar power levels.